I am still exploring the ancient Egyptian capital of Luxor as I attend the 112th General Conference of the FAI. And what better way to experience the place than through an air sport?
We're up very early here in the west bank of the Nile, trying to fly in a hot air balloon and see everything from the air. I think this would be interesting.
Ballooning in Luxor started in the 1990s and has since become an important part of the tourism industry. Joining me that morning was FAI President de Honor, John Grubstrom, who is a balloon pilot as well. Soon, we were off.
Well, nice looking farmlands, everything is green, only because we're very close to the Nile.
Our pilot wanted to take us over the Theban necropolis and other historical sites. But the wind had other plans for us.
The winds are very strong this morning, so we're not able to climb very high. We're just cruising along.
We swept over green fields of papyrus.
Farms are here. It's nice to see the farmers working early this morning. We're flying very low. I have to say good morning to these guys. Good morning. Salam alaikum. And it's corn picking for them this morning. And here's probably part of irrigation from the Nile River.
John and I enjoyed the view as we went over brick houses, lush farms, and people starting their day. Through it all, the Nile flowed, giving life to an otherwise dry and barren country.
And everything close to the Nile is all green, and just after that becomes desert.
As the wind changed, we saw the twin statues of the Colossi of Memnon, guardians of a now invisible sanctuary. We also passed the massive pylons of Ramses III's temple. Beyond that is the land of the dead, where the ancient royals rested in secret tombs. And on the other side of the Nile is the East Bank, the land of the living, where the grand temples of Luxor and Karnak are. With the wind deciding our fate, we soon prepared to land.
It's a good spot to land, I think, very close to the road. They have good help here in retrieving, just like at home.
We landed on a cornfield, complete with a warm village welcome. I even thought these were our ride back to the hotel. After flying over Luxor, I realized that if there was one main character in ancient Egyptian history, it would be the Nile. This body of water has shaped the lives and beliefs of the Egyptian people for thousands of years. Silt deposits transformed the inhabitable desert into a lush and fertile land. The earliest agricultural activity began in these very banks and continues until today. I board the traditional wooden felucca and sailed down Luxor's waters. The felucca's ancient form still plies the river, and the Egyptians were said to be the first to perfect shipbuilding here. It has no motor and relies on the wind with its triangular sails.
So you're making the sail a little bit tighter. Construction and strategy of the sails have been existing for thousands of years. Can you imagine that?
I thought I would try to sail one by controlling its big rudders.
Oh, I have to hold here. Okay. Which way do you want to go? Oh, wait a minute. I'm not that strong. More. Okay, we turn around. I see. Okay, got it. So this is how to sail. You have to have a strong back. Okay, I push a little bit more then. Avoid this guy, huh? I'm getting better.
Egypt is blessed with a southwesterly wind that drives sailboats upriver, while letting them return on the Nile's current downstream.
What's nice about this is that it's very quiet. I think and imagine that the pharaohs would pass through here. It was like their highway during their time.
Boats were an important part of Egyptian society, and they are also considered a necessity as one sails into the afterlife. The Nile teemed with fish, birds, and fruit-bearing trees. Exotic goods from distant lands traveled on this water highway. Papyrus reeds growing along its banks were made into the first kind of paper. Cut into strips, flattened and dried, it was a durable and waterproof writing surface. With it came the written language, art, and historical records that continue to inform us until today. My new friend Mustafa was raised plying these waters.
And when did you start sailing?
That's 5 years.
5 years old.
Yeah.
You like to be a sailor or a pilot?
No, like the sail.
Sail, okay.
Yeah. We work at the help of the family.
I see.
Like him, the ancient Egyptians' worldview was shaped by the Nile. Its annual flooding ensured reliable soil for crops. No flooding meant food shortages. They believed the god Happy controlled the flooding and the pharaoh interceded for them. The sun began to set on the Nile, and for ancient Egyptians, this was the sun god Ra, journeying to the underworld, only to emerge again at dawn as the sun rises. For Mustafa and I, it was time for some sunset songs. I hope my singing has not angered the god Happy enough to bring on a famine. The ancient Egyptians enjoyed wealth, food security, and a natural defense against enemies. This allowed them to form a complex society and rich culture. Indeed, the story of the Nile does not end in its banks, but continues on to the great civilizations that emerged from it. In the third part of my adventure across Egypt, I explore the glory of ancient Thebes, marvel at some of the world's grandest monuments, and crawl down hidden tubes to find the secrets of the afterlife.